I was like, wait a minute. I think
Have you ever had this test before?
yes.
And what was the result?
Negative.
Negative. That's good. And we're going to be injecting you right now.
Here.
So we're drawing at 0.1, which is exactly what you have in the air. So we're going to clean this off with alcohol first. And the same thing, the snail shell, start in the middle, work your way out. Okay, so you're blank hands with it.
Oh, with the gloves or
No,
without?
you don't need gloves on when you're drawing.
Oh.
So push it down and just push it, push, and wipe. You're wanting to wipe all that off. So you push and clean it. Because up in the cupboard, it gets dusty. You don't know who's touched it. You don't know where it's been, so you're cleaning that off.
So make sure
0.1.
0.1.
Rainbow. Now see, and this manufacturer, they're not screwed on there, so you gotta have to kind of hold it. There you go. And then rainbow. There you go. Okay. Push it down. And the air first, air to air.
Okay.
And you're gonna spin it over.
Then.
And you want to always be looking at your label so that you know what you're drawing up. You're double checking. And let me show you. So this here. And then you're going to turn this around where you can see your numbers. See?
I see.
Okay. And then you want to make sure this is straight up and down, because if you start bending it like this, you're going to bend your needle. So you're holding it just like this.
Alright, so hold it just like this.
And then pinch it there. There you go. And then pull it down kind of fast. It's going to get rid of your bubbles. There you go. And you want to make sure that your medication is all the way through here. See, now push it up.
Right here, last name.
See how that's a bubble there? You're going to keep pushing it.
Right and left.
And then now see how this has all medication all the way through.
Yes.
And then the top of the plunger up to 0.1.
Okay.
There you go. And then take it out. Set that down. And then your one-hand scoop technique, you're going to cover that up. Good. Same thing. Now clean it off. Air to air. Who's going to be next? Okay. You got your questions already? Okay, rainbow. Hold that.
And butterflies.
Draw.
It's going to be air to air.
You can draw it up.
Okay, there you go. And you can set up a tray,
Okay.
and then I'll help you draw like this. Yeah, so you can set everything up just like that over there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see some bubbles in there.
Yeah, so little tiny bubbles like this, if you pull it down fast, it's gonna help get rid of them, and then push it back up. And sometimes you can flick it a little bit, but you don't wanna be doing that for a long period of time. Okay, you don't have time for it, and you can actually change the compound of the medication if you hit it too much. Push it back up
See,
to
there's still
0.1.
bubbles in there.
It'll go away. Push it up. And keep in mind, we're not injecting into veins or arteries, so you're not going to hurt anybody with these tiny micro bubbles. We're injecting into tissue, so it's okay. Okay, and then take it off. One hand scoop technique. There you go. All right, now you can put your gloves on. And you already asked her questions, so you know she's good to go. Now, did they tell you if she's positive or has ever been positive, what happens from there?
I have to stop it and call doctor.
Right, so then they go for chest x-ray, because once they're positive, usually they'll always be positive. It's because either they're allergic to it or they've been exposed to TB at some point, but we don't want to put people through that. They wind up with scars, okay? So the whole goal is to make sure, do they have tuberculosis in their lungs? So then the next step, even if they are positive, would be to go to chest x-ray anyways. So there's no reason to put them through that first step and then do chest x-ray anyways. Does that make sense? So once they're positive, you just assume they're always positive, send them for chest x-ray. Okay? Okay, so go ahead.
So I have to do it. Okay, I have, let's say, big hand,
okay.
so I'm gonna come in the
You're
whole
just gonna
thing.
come right here. Can you go like that?
Okay. Like this. Okay.
Yep.
And basically,
And they're gonna meet in the middle. And right where they meet in the middle is your center space. Now, measuring, we only do the first couple times till you can kind of visualize exactly where's the center, okay? But once you've done this enough, you're gonna be able just to look at the arm and know where the center is, okay?
so
And once we get out there in the field, you don't wanna be doing all these measurement things because people get nervous, okay? So yes, there's your center right there. And you're gonna grab that, you're gonna clean.
And we have 2 hours, Diane, so take your time.
Okay, from the center, work your way out, snail shell.
My whole thing is I still
make
wanna,
sure this
like,
is
Good.
in the area, you know what I mean?
Okay, and you don't wanna come back across what you just cleaned. So center, work your way out, and you're done.
And you have your
Okay.
area there.
There you go.
I don't think there's a big problem.
Like that?
Now you're gonna hold it. Okay. Okay, you're gonna hold it just like this.
Okay.
Okay, and your bevel is up, that opening,
Yeah.
the bevel is up, and then with this hand, you're gonna hold this tight. And make sure you don't go into that vein, see that vein right there? Okay, so you're gonna go, 10-degree angle, just under the first layer. There you go, and keep it right there. Come around with your left hand, and don't move this hand around, hold it nice and tight, and then push it in. And keep that hand steady. There you go,
Right?
keep it steady.
Oh, move.
Keep going.
That's bad.
And you're watching, making sure that you have all that medication in. Beautiful. Whoop.
Combo?
Okay, and then drop that.
Watch out.
Okay, there you go, dab, dab, dab. So you see when you came out, when you were almost done, and then it kind of squirted a little
Yeah.
bit?
Can you do that?
Here's what happened. You still had a little bit of medication in there, and you were still applying pressure. But when you were coming out, that bevel was now half out and half in. So it's like, you know when you're watering, you're with the hose and you put your thumb over it and it creates that extra
Yes.
pressure? That's what happened. So you were still creating that pressure, but it was half blocked. So the medicine had to have somewhere to go, so it just shot out. So that last little bit, you gotta make sure you stay in there the whole time until it's all in there. Okay, so sometimes that happens in the very beginning, when you start injecting and it squirts, you're like, oh, just a minute, and then you push in a little bit further. If you take it off the skin, you're done. You can't go back and do that, now it's contaminated. But if you see that happening, or you see it starting to fill up, so you know you're not in all the way, you just go in a little bit further and then do that, okay? Okay, you can do the next one.
Alright. Don't worry, I'm not gonna kill you this time.
Space pants?
Okay, go ahead.
Alright.
I'm not sure.
Yes, that was the one I was.
So I can see it's right here.
Right in the center, and we don't wanna go on that vein, we're gonna go to the side of it.
Gotta keep your
Yeah,
bottom
but
straight.
wasn't there a,
Okay.
I was thinking of starting.
I think one.
Me too.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, I did see it.
Get it over with.
Okay, and I put the lid on, so you're gonna have to rainbow.
Yeah.
See, I seen it?
Careful, there you
I've
go.
seen that, like, little
There you go.
I don't even know why I saw that.
Ring.
Okay, so you gotta make it even bigger, you gotta train that brain.
Guys are having a meeting.
Okay, the bevel's up.
There's a guy on
Is there
stage
anything else?
dancing, it's this little midget.
He's the
No,
guy
I don't think so.
from
Oh, this is just a drop of the medication, so you go like this and it'll go away, or you can pull this down a little bit and it'll go away.
She's like one of the famous little midgets.
So make sure. I don't have anything in your arm.
And hold it underneath.
He's in like a funeral at a, wait,
Just be prepared for me to fall.
Dutch funeral.
Okay, hold it with your thumb and pull tight. And you clean right below it, there you go.
I'm surprised that I don't still have my.
Good. Come around with the left and inject nice and
Oh, I should have
slow.
touched my
And
shirt.
don't lift up on that needle, see how it came up? So hold that right hand steady. A little deep, come out a little bit. There you go.
Yeah, you can't help it.
Okay, good, and don't lift up on that needle, see? Okay, left hand out of the way, there you go,
Didn't do anything.
and drop it. You know why? Because you went too deep a
I
little
wasn't
bit.
deep, huh?
Sometimes, when you come back out a little bit and then inject, sometimes it recovers and you'll be able to make the wheel. But sometimes with some people, if you've made that halfway for that medication, it'll just keep going deep. And sometimes it won't make the wheel. So out in the field, if you don't make that wheel, you have to do it again. Okay, so try to get it right the first time. Yeah, but it's practice.
That's all it's showing.
Enough to where you can see a wheel.
Like I
So those, put it back
Oh,
here.
yeah?
yeah, like barely. I mean, ours, I saw way more than
Like,
hers. I was like,
student.
Yeah, sometimes they just get going too fast.
Like,
Crazy
Yeah.
on cops.
it's crazy.